guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivana Navarro and I bring you videos every Tuesdays and Saturdays, and today's Saturday is Sábado de Chisme. So get ready for the story time. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab whatever you want. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so you can get notifications when I post every time, every week. And let's get started. So I moved to LA by myself for acting. And I had nobody, right? So I had to live in the school housing. I got a bunch of student loans, which I don't recommend. I might do a story time about my student loans, but I don't recommend student loans. And I do recommend student loans. Why? I don't regret having a student loan because it was the only way for me to actually come to LA and study what I wanted to study and start here. And ever since, my life has changed and I love it and I don't regret it one bit. I don't recommend student loans if you have other alternatives, like if you have other choices like free college, if you live in the same in the town where you can go to college and what you want to do is there and you can be successful there. You can save money, whatever you can do. Don't get a student loan. Side note. So after graduating school, I had to get a job because I was living with my boyfriend, the one that cheated on me. Yes. And I was supporting him. He didn't have a job. I had to get a job. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put my dream on pause. I can still audition on the side, right? Wrong. No, I couldn't. You don't have time when you have a 9 to 5. And you have to ask for permission to miss work days in advance. So I started working at this company that I really loved. It was super close to my house. I don't drive, so I just walked there. So it was awesome, and it was paying decent. It was paying minimum wage. I started at minimum wage and then it went up, but it was decent. It was good hours. I loved it, and I love the people there. I'm not gonna say anything about the company, like exactly what it was, because I don't want people to know which company it was. But I loved working there, and even after leaving, I love them. So no grudges there. There was nothing they did wrong that made me leave. It's just that I wanted to pursue my career. So I paused my dream of acting for a few years, 4 years to be exact. A long time. The thing is, when you get a 9 to 5 job and you're like, oh, this is my secure blanket. Because it's your secure blanket, you have you put more and more time there, and it's harder and harder to get out and do what you love. So that's what happened to me. I was too comfortable and I didn't leave. Plus I had a family to support on my own at 23. So after I moved out of my apartment with my boyfriend, because of course I couldn't kick them out, so I moved out and I had a studio, then I definitely cannot leave my job to do acting, right? So it was harder and harder. I really had this feeling of I need to act. Like I was sitting in front of my computer looking at the screen and I was like, I'm miserable. Like my life is comfortable because it was comfortable, but my soul is dying every day. I'm sitting here and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I was like, I'm gonna act, even if I can do it like on the side. Like I'm gonna start acting because I cannot live like this. I cannot live like this anymore, right? So you have a revelation. And then I found an acting coach and I found a bunch of help. So that was that. That's how I started. Like, all right, I'm going to quit one day, but I need to make steps forward. So it took me about a year or a year and a half to actually quit to do full-time acting. What I was doing on the side is I found ways to act or ways to make money through acting and other ways to make money on my own schedule before I could quit. So what I did was I got roommates. Fuck your privacy. I don't care. Like I got roommates. That is one of the things I did because I wanted to lower my expenses as much as I could. So I got roommates. And that was amazing. That was a blessing. I met the best people. I met the worst people also. But it was really nice and it was really amazing, and I don't regret it one bit. So I got roommates, and then I found background work. Background work as an actress is not gonna get you to Hollywood, it's not gonna get you to stardom, but it's gonna pay your bills sometimes, and it will keep you on set and will keep you with food on your table, right? So it keeps you working, and sometimes it pays really well if you go overtime and stuff. So the thing with that too, you can get comfortable and just do background for years and years and years and never actually act. So don't get settled there, but I would definitely recommend doing background actor. Hell yeah. And I was like, this is awesome because I could pick my own hours and I could do it alongside of my job. I also worked as a temp on some companies, like secretary temporarily on the weekends or on the days I was off. So yeah, I was doing that on the side, and then it came to and then I was doing a bunch of other stuff. So it came to a point where I was actually making the same amount of money as my job. So I was making good money. So I was making the same amount of money part-time, doing my own things, as I was doing at work. And I was also acting. So I was also getting auditions, getting roles. But one thing happened to me. And it was that every time I would see a breakdown for those of you who don't know, in acting, you submit yourself. I didn't have an agent, so you see the role they're looking for and you submit yourself. So every time I would see it, I would check the dates and be like, no, I'm working that day and I'm not gonna get permission to leave. So also at my job, they had a policy that we had to ask for permission to miss work, even if it's your PTO, even if it's your days off, anything. Like, even if it's your own PTO, you have to ask for permission 30 days in advance. Who in real life normally knows 30 days in advance what they're going to do, except if it's like a real vacation? But also, who in acting knows 30 days in advance that there's going to be an audition and a role? Nobody. Plus, acting changes everything. Like, schedule changes all the time. There's nothing set with acting. So, yeah, didn't work out. So it came to a point where I had a bunch of auditions that I couldn't go, or a bunch of roles that I wanted to apply for that I couldn't do because I was working. So I was like, okay, I'm making almost the same amount of money as I'm working part-time, not even full-time. I can totally do it. So I'm going to pull the plug. Plus, there was this certification that I wanted to do that was hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming and coaching. And I wanted to take the certification, but it was 21 days. So I was like, no way I'm gonna get permission to miss 21 days of work. So this is the perfect time. The certification is coming. I can actually take some time to quit and do that, and it will be another source of income or an advance in my career as I'm doing what I love. Anyways, I had a plan. Everything was perfect. So I submit my 2 week. I asked for a vacation. Actually, I asked for a couple weeks off, because I was gonna film. I had a project that I was working on, and it was gonna take several days, and I didn't want to take like days off of work like randomly, so I asked for my days off in advance. They granted them to me. It was not 30 days in advance. I kept doing that. Like, I kept the last few months, I kept missing work, like saying a week in advance. I did it as far in advance as I could with acting, but sometimes it was the day before, or sometimes it was 2 days before. So I just couldn't. I could not keep it up. And I felt awful because I hate failing on my job. I never did it before, but I was having to pick between my acting, my passion, and my job. And time is valuable. Let me tell you something. Time is precious. Don't waste it. Time is more valuable than money, and you won't get it back. So, just saying, I spent 4 years of my life that I'm not going to get back. I don't regret it. I met cool people. I met good money. I was able to survive. But I spent 4 years of my life at a company I'm not in anymore. And they replaced me, obviously. So was it really worth it? Nope. Anyways, I quit. I put my 2 week notice. My boss was awesome and accepted my 2 week notice, and also offered to let me work as a contractor. So he terminated my job and accepted my notice, and he helped me. Like, he wanted me to train the next person. So I still stayed about a week or two after, and I kept coming back like to train more and more people after that. So it was awesome. But there, as an independent contractor, so I would pick my hours and I would say, okay, I can do it this day or I cannot do it this day. It was not like full time. And that lasted for a couple of weeks, probably even 2 months, not consistently, like once a month or two. And then I had to quit fully. I was like, that's it. I cannot keep, because I kept, it's like when you're swimming on a pool and you keep grabbing the side of the pool, you need to let go to be able to get to the other side. And I kept grabbing onto it and I did not let go. So I had to let go. So I pulled the plug and I was like, I'm not coming back. You have to find someone else. I'll train the last person, but that's it. And it was fine. He was awesome. And then when I quit, literally the day after I quit, or the week after I quit, one of my roommates leaves. He's like, it was like the 28th or something, and the first of the month was coming. And he is like, I'm leaving, I'm not staying anymore, I'm moving out, so bye. No advance notice, no nothing. Like, I was freaking out. And that just crumbled everything, because my math was based on what I was making, obviously, on the side, but also what I was saving with my roommates. So that just increased a bunch of money. So I had savings, so I could do it like 1 month or 2 months, but I did not save that much. So that crumbled. And then I did not start actually doing anything with coaching, obviously, because I was 21 days in that certification that took all day. So I had no job for a month, and this person just left. So I was like, I'm failing. That's it. I have to go back to work, and that's it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to call them crying and saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Take me back, which they would have taken me back, but I didn't. I was like, everything is going to work out. Everything's going to work out. So I stayed put. I found a roommate, which was a crazy psycho roommate. If you haven't seen that video, what are you doing? I'll link them up there so you can see it. But it helped me, like, in a way, it helped me to move forward through those months. And I kept doing acting more and more, and I was able to actually do acting full time, whether it was audience work, whether it was acting, whether it was background. That was my income. That was the days of my income. So moving forward, after a few months, things started crumbling with all of my roommates. It started with that psycho girl, but it just was like a domino effect with everything. My lease was up. My lease was coming up, so I could renew it or not renew it, but it was so stressful with roommates, and it was so stressful with money, and it was just not worth it, because whenever someone would move out, I had to put all the money from their part, because it wasn't like we were sharing a lease. It was my lease, and I was having roommates, so it was a whole ordeal. Plus I was getting caught by my leasing office, because obviously they didn't accept that, because people are not in the lease, and that was just horrible and stressful. And then at the same time, I was dating my boyfriend, and he suggested, when everything was crumbling, he suggested, why don't you just move in with me? Why don't we live together? And that's a whole different story that I'm gonna get into in another video. But basically, we ended up living together. I kept saying no, and putting it off, until my lease was up. His lease was month to month, so we could actually move together to a different area if we wanted to. So I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna do it. I was so nervous. I was so scared, but that's a different video. I did it. I moved in with him, and it's been awesome. It's been amazing. So I was actually living with my boyfriend, having no roommates except for him and my dog. Living in a really nice area that I loved. It was far, but I kept making it work, and working full-time acting. So we moved to a different place, and anyways, we ended up living together, moving somewhere else, and it was amazing. It's been amazing. So we moved in October, and for a few months it was awesome. I was having a lot of work, doing background, a lot of auditions, a lot of work, and I was having a lot of work, and it was good. And then the pandemic started. So March 13, I get a message from every gig I had saying everything is canceled until further notice. We don't know when that's gonna happen, so peace out. That day, like, please don't come back tomorrow. Basically. So I was freaking out. So in a way, yes, I felt like a failure again. I was like, oh my God, like I'm so dumb. Like, how could I not see this coming? How could I not see that this was, I don't know, no one could see it coming, but I was feeling so bad until I heard that also in the company I was working for, that people were furloughed there too. So I was like, okay, even if I had stayed there, not work, not acting, not anything, I would still be furloughed or at home today. And meaning in March. And I was like, you know what? Then I'm glad I did it because I didn't fail. I did it. So basically, that being home made me realize what I really want to do. I wanted to start doing YouTube. I wanted to start my coaching business again, like actually getting more clients and getting out there and sharing my message. And I've been doing it since. Also, it reminded me how passionate I am about real estate and houses and apartments and everything. So now I'm pursuing that. I'm going to get my real estate license also, but I'm also doing acting, well, auditioning virtually and hoping for the best. In the meantime, it's just in pause. Like, in my mind, I thought I'm not going to risk my health right now to go to set because they don't have the precautions yet and nothing is established yet. So I knew that acting for me was going to be paused until next year. Even if they open, it's still dangerous. So in my mind, I knew that they're closing again. So I knew that acting was going to be paused. It's not canceled. It's just paused until next year. So what can I do right now that makes me money, that makes me passionate, that moves me forward? And that's what I've been doing. I'm doing coaching. I'm doing my programs. I'm coming up with a really cool program for you guys. And I'm coming up with a bunch of things that I can do. Content. I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing what I love, honestly. And honestly, if you ask me, do you regret having quit your job? The answer is no, I do not regret it. It was a journey for sure, but if you want to quit your job, make sure you have some steps in place, some goals in place, and you know what you're going to do and probably saving. But honestly, think about this. There's no certainty. There's no certainty whether you have a full-time job or you don't, whether you're doing your gigs and what you're passionate about or your business or you don't. There is no certainty, especially right now in the world. Where is the certainty? Where is it? A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are home. Where is the certainty? Where is the comfort that you have? The comfort zone. No such thing as comfort zone there anymore. So if there's no comfort zone, then what's the point? Then just go do what you want to do and move forward. And that's what I did, and I don't regret it one bit. I would change some things. I would have more planned. Like, I would plan more in advance. I would have been more strict with roommates and more strict with who I bring into my home. But I don't regret it one bit. And I have been self-employed ever since. And I love it. And I don't regret it. And that's why when the pandemic, when this whole thing hit, it wasn't as hard because I was already uncertain. I was already uncertain in my job, in my career, my passion. So I was used to that. So this was just like, oh, bring it on. Then how else? Like, it made me just think, how else can I do it? What else do I need to do? And how do I change courses to keep moving forward? I'm not going to get stuck. I'm not going to sit here and get stuck. So if you want some tips about how to quit your 9-to-5, I can give you some tips, and I can give you some tips, especially if you're acting or if you want something on the side while you build your business. Let me know in the comments below because I can make a Big Sis Tuesdays video about this topic, which I would love. So thank you so much for watching this Sábado de Chisme. It was just more like a venting, like what happened. I quit my job. I thought I failed, and I don't regret it one bit. So if you want to do it, you can do it too. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video if you want to show people what it's actually like to quit your 9-to-5 to become a full-time actress. If you're thinking about it, and just for entertainment purposes. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.